Hello everybody and welcome back. My name is Kari and today I am showing you the pain that is me reading Outlander. I did get through Echo in the Bone? That sounds right. Whatever the bright green one is and whatever the seventh one is. Much faster than I got through Breath of Snow and Ashes. Much faster. So this vlog starts in July when I begin to read A Breath of Snow and Ashes and continues through the end of October, I want to say early November, when I finally finished Echo in the Bone. I hope you enjoy. There is swearing, pain, and a lot of anger and resentment at these books. But there are also some really fun times as well. Enjoy! Alright, I'm gonna vlog this thing because I don't want to do this. I'm gonna start this fucker. God, here we go. It's gonna kill me, but you're gonna get to see the process, so here we go. There's bits of this book I don't mind. So, for example, I like young Ian. He's really fun. Some of the descriptions are obscenely long. For example, there was one maybe, I don't know, 100 pages ago. I am 600 pages in, by the way. It is October 12th. That described for 6 paragraphs 2 seasons. And not even like 2 seasons broadly, specific things about branches for 6 paragraphs. Nobody needs that. 6 paragraphs, it's ridiculous. But here we are. I like young Ian. There are bits I really like. I like the discussions that Jamie and Claire have. I like the comparisons between women's roles in the 1960s versus the 1770s. I think that's really fun, and pardon me while I let the dog out because she's pacing. Look, Melody, will you stop moving? There she is. We gotta go let her out. So I like some of that. I don't. Do you wanna go out? Go. But it just, the descriptions are, like I said, they're obscenely long, and I don't mind that it's a legacy from our grandmother. And it just, you know how there are bits of things that you just can't stand, and then there are actually tidbits that you like. I like the historical accuracy of it. I think it's pretty decent at that. I like young Ian. I like the conversations, but the descriptions are just so long. Seriously, dog? Apparently we're letting her back in now. And it just, come on, baby. It just feels excessive, you know? What? Is that your toy? That I just don't really, I don't know. It's still an excessively long book and series. Oh, do you want to say hi to River? Hi, River. So that's where I'm at right now. I am now 1,009 pages through this chunker, which is wonderful. I did also get an Echo in the Bone, yeah. That's the next one. God, is that 7? 7. Off my bookshelf. And that one is only 1,100 pages as opposed to the 1,400 pages, specifically the 1,439 page that this one is. Anyway, I'm finding that I have a hard time starting this book, but once I get going, it's not as bad, which is nice. Means I have 430 pages left, which I can do this weekend. It is October 23rd, and it feels like it's been going on forever. I feel like I haven't read anything this month because I've been so focused on finishing this one, and I haven't even started the next one. Hopefully November will be better, but basically my goal for the next 2 days, maybe 3, is to finish this book and then read one of the ones that was actually on my October TBR that isn't this, because however short, I'm gonna need a break. All of that complaining done, I do enjoy Ian, and I like his relationship with Rollo. I like that we finally figure out what happened with Ian and the Mohawk. I think that was really fun. I mean, not fun for him, but interesting to learn the full story. And otherwise, it just, I don't know, there's bits that feel forced, I guess. Spoiler, until I bring the book back up. It's the American Revolution. Jamie and Claire obviously are gonna side with the Americans because Claire knows how this ends. And so Jamie's just declared allegiance to the Americans, who technically are just the colonists at this point. And Lord John Grey is warning him, don't do this is a bad idea, and Jamie severs connections with him, which has got to be rough because, you know, history there. But Jamie is apparently also writing as Scotus Americanus, Latin pronunciation notwithstanding. There are pieces of it that Jamie's portrayed as a very intelligent man, and I don't really understand why Gabaldon felt the need to put something more that would get him into trouble into it. I understand that Jamie was a printer in Scotland after the Jacobite uprising. I understand that he printed seditious stuff then. I know that that's sort of portrayed as his part of his personality. I mean, to be fair, as a Scot saying fuck the British is really, you know, right up your alley, especially in this time period. That makes sense. I just, like most of my complaints about this book, honestly, it just feels too much. So, that's fun. Listen, my children, and you shall hear of the midnight ride of Paul Revere on the 18th of April in 75. Hardly a man is now alive who remembers that famous day and year. That's all I remember. There's something about one if by sea, two if by land, or one if by land, two if by sea. I don't know. Basically, it's Paul Revere's Midnight Ride, obviously, in 75, because, you know, said that bit. I think we read that poem in 5th grade. I was about 10. Those are the first however many lines, and there's a whole bunch more, but we only read it the once, and that was the part that stuck. I finished Echo in the Bone. Nope, Breath of Snow and Ashes. Now I start reading Echo in the Bone. Oh god. That's how I feel about this. So it's long and drawn out, basically, which is what I've been saying since I started reading this damn book. There are bits that I don't mind, but Claire gets abducted or attacked like 5 times in this, and nobody needs that. That's ridiculous. Let's see. It seems that they just pass on by about 5-6 months in the space of 20 pages. Now, don't get me wrong, I appreciate that we pass 6 months because they're just going to be normal months. But at the same time, if you're going to write a 1,400 page book with month by month playback, you might as well just do those 6 fucking months. Like, really. So that was a little irritating. The ending was rushed. There were bits of it that were super, super slow, and by bits of it, I mean 1,400 pages of it. So there might be 39 pages that weren't. It went back to Culloden. There's a lot of betrayal, and betrayal that didn't have anything to do with, you know, principle or the revolution. And I get it, but I don't understand it. I didn't really enjoy this book. Basically is what I'm trying to say. Again, there were bits, maybe 200 pages at most. I think Bree was really fun. Ian is probably my favorite at this point. I like Jamie and Claire's relationship. I like the comfort of it. But I just need this to be done. And it is, so now on to the next one, which thankfully is only 1,100 pages. I say that like it's a big deal, but I mean 300 pages when you're reading a chunker like this is definitely an improvement. So we're gonna start vlog of Echo in the Bone. Don't mind the face mask. I read before I go to bed, and I'm trying to do a face mask once a week. I have acne. It's not as bad as when I was in high school, but it's not great. So I don't always succeed, but I try to do a face mask once a week. And tonight was the night I had the time. So thought I would let you know that I'm starting this. It is October 25th. I'm pretty sure. First of all, the cover on this is lime green. It's very odd. So far in the series, the covers of the mass market, which are the ones I have, match the big floppy ones and the hardcovers. This one very clearly does not. An Echo in the Bone in the hardcover. You know, I haven't seen the big floppy version of this one, but in the hardcover anyway, it is black. Apparently they just decided to go completely the other way. That's fun. I don't know how I feel about this one. It's shorter, it's only 1,100 pages, but it just, I mean, to be fair, I haven't started it yet. So, I mean, technically I'll let you know as I go through it, but based on the last one, which felt really rushed in the last 100 pages, I'm concerned that there's going to be a lot of pacing problems in this. I'm also questioning, well, I question some of the plot holes. You know, like, how do you go into the 1960s and 70s without any documentation of you for several years? I get that it's not the 2000s. I get that it's not 2020. Thank God nobody's coming back into that. I hope they're not. But it just, you know, it isn't there. I find that a gaping plot hole that she doesn't even mention really, oh, well, they had money stored away. This is how they prepared to leave, because none of them prepared to come back. So if you don't prepare to come back, how do you explain that you're just suddenly back? I mean, unless it's Fiona who expects that, but that's one person as opposed to trying to convince a government. And we all know governments are sketchy as fuck. They don't convince easily. But according to my cousin, that doesn't ever get explained in all 8 books. So apparently I'm just gonna ignore that for a while. But anyway, yeah, starting this. We're gonna see how this goes. Hello, it is October 26th. It's a Monday, and I am, well, let's see, how many pages am I into this? I am 79 pages at the moment. I've been reading for a little bit. Into Echo of the Bone. I actually found myself wanting to read it tonight, and as I'm reading it, we're reading dual POV, where Brianna and Roger are in 1980, and Claire and Jamie are obviously in 1776. Yeah, 76. She does a really good job at the emotions between them and at the relationships. I think Gabaldon is an excellent writer. She is just superfluous and loquacious and verbose. To a lethal extent, I think, largely. But I still have 1,100 pages, so here we go. I realized that I had not updated. So we've gone out for Halloween, which is basically going to the grandparents, because that's what they do. Anyway, none of that is relevant. So that's where I am. But I was reading Echo in the Bone, and I think we're just gonna have to make this a very spoilery vlog because I can't not, you know? Basically, they've been on a ship, they've been press ganged, and the dog's okay, which is really the important part of all of this. And I'm almost 500 pages through this book, which is almost halfway, which is excellent. But it's still killing me, you know? I will say this one is more enjoyable than the last. I'm not entirely sure why. Still no real mention. I mean, they mentioned Brianna had money if she wanted to buy Lallybrock, but that's about it. So, I don't know what that button does. But anyway, that's what I've got. Again, I like it more than the last one. Still overly descriptive and definitely excessively long. Very true. She says there's something different about the cold of Scotland. And having been to Scotland in November and being fairly convinced that I couldn't feel my toes for the entire weekend, yes. But it's gorgeous. Technically, a polar bear's bum is gonna be warm because it's covered in fur, meant for below 0 temperatures. Minor detail. I finished it. Don't mind the crazy kids. This one did not take nearly as long. Clearly it is November 7th, and it's done. It is 1,140 something pages. 40, you know, I should know this since I literally just finished it seconds before picking up my phone. 1,149 pages. I like Ian. I don't know that I'm sold on all of the different perspectives. I realized as I was reading this what in part irritates me so much about this series, and it's Claire, to be perfectly honest. Claire has this medical solution for every ailment possible. And while I get that she's a doctor from the 20th century, and I get that medicine has progressed significantly in the last 100 years, being able to do a lot of the procedures that she does, you know, remove an appendix, remove tonsils, with stuff from the 1700s, in the 1700s, it just, the fact that she can fix everything unless it moves the plot along really drives me nuts, you know? She's just a bit of a know-it-all. And don't get me wrong, I think she's a brilliant woman. I enjoy that aspect. I don't like that everything goes right for her. And there will be people who say, well, not everything goes right. And you're right, not everything goes right, but 99% of it goes right. And to be perfectly honest, I'd rather it be a 60-40 kind of a thing, because I think that would just be a lot more realistic. Again, I like Ian and his dog. I think the Scotland tangent was pretty much irrelevant, ultimately. I think the pacing in this book was better than Breath of Snow and Ashes. I don't know that I would say it was great. I'll probably give this one a 3 out of 5. There was a lot of switching back and forth. There's a lot of questions for me, especially about Brianna and Roger. She's bringing in a lot of characters that have connections, and it's feeling like an overly extended Michener book. Part of my problem with his stuff, although to be fair, I've really only read the one, was that everything happens to this one family and their descendants from 2,000 years ago to now. That's what this feels like, and it'd be one thing if it was just in the 1770s at this point and 1980, but it's not. They connect them through descendants, and so you learn about descendants and ancestors of these basically two families, the Beechams and the Mackenzie Frasers, which is fine, except it's not, because it's so long and drawn out. That's the phrase I was going for earlier. So I don't know that I love that, and by don't know, I mean I don't love that. But this book did pace a lot better than Breath of Snow and Ashes. There was a lot more that I liked, even if there was still the big problems that I had with it. So I'm done, and now there's one more book that I'm reading with Erica and one of her friends, and then I am done until God knows when the 9th one is released. And let's be real, unless somebody's buddy reading that thing with me, it'll be at least 5 years before I read it. So here we go. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Let me know if you've read the Outlander series, what you think of it, if you've seen the show, because I do enjoy the show, although I haven't seen the 5th season yet. I'm behind, I know. Anything else related to it, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye.